Alright boys, so today the FGO official Twitter went ahead and let us know when the next event is going to be coming out. We knew it was going to be Summer 5, otherwise known as the Servant Summer Camp, and they've actually let us know that it's going to be coming on July 12th, which I believe at the time of this video coming out will be 4 days from now, because I think I'm recording it on the 7th, but it should go up on the 8th. So what I wanted to do in this video is I just kind of wanted to go over what to expect for the event, predominantly just talking about the servants, because that's the main thing that people are going to be looking for. And so yeah, let's go ahead and dive into looking at some of these servants. This is obviously the banner that everybody is going to be looking forward to. It's going to be the first banner that does come out for the event. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about this. I'll also go ahead and briefly cover Banner 2, but this won't be coming out for about, I think, like a week and a half into the event. Like, it'll be a fat minute before it actually comes out. So this will be your main banner to worry about coming up next in the next few days. So first and foremost is probably the headliner unit of the event. That is going to be Kiara Summer, or the Moon Cancer version of her. Now, this is actually a servant that I think I downplayed a little bit in the past. Having been able to use her a little bit more over on JP, she's actually a little bit better than I was actually giving her credit for. So sorry, Kiara, don't, smack me with your giant mermaid form, right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to give you your just desserts now. She's actually really, really insane with her bringing kind of a new mechanic into the game. In fact, both of the new 5 stars for this bring something new to the game. Kiara with her rank up skills, and Abigail over here with this new sleep status that should be, yes, right here. This is a new status where basically it's kind of like a stun, but it lasts for 2 turns, but if you hit the enemy, they wake up, right? So they're asleep, for an extra, you get an extra turn out of the stun, but they also, like, can't attack them, otherwise they wake up. So it's a little annoying, right? But it's also kind of interesting. I like the idea of it, right? Like bringing a different new status into the game. But let's go ahead and talk about Kiara first. So basically, yeah, you'll see on her first skill, you basically want to press this whenever you can to start stacking up these mermaid nourishments, and you can use these to rank up her skills, which can do things like take this skill that is a 30% battery and has 20 stars and upgrade it to being a 50% battery and give you 30 stars at the cost of 2 of your skill rank ups. Now, I've seen a little bit of chatter online, not too much, but there are some people that kind of downplay Kiara a little bit because they think you absolutely have to rank up the skills for her to be good. But let me just let you know right now, even in farming situations, Kiara is able to farm just fine. She is absolutely just well equipped to farm. She is perfectly fine. She can do it all day, every day. But what you want to do with her is you just want to go ahead and pop this first skill, get these mermaid nourishments going. You can go ahead and get this NP damage as well, which is definitely going to help you as well. And then when you get to your third wave, if you had to, kind of waste some of the nourishments on this because, maybe your setup is just not quite as good or something, or maybe NP levels are just not there for you. You're not able to do black grail farming, whatever it is. Maybe you had to click the battery, right? Even if you had to do this, this skill is still going to be absolutely good on wave 3, where you just decimate the opponents by just reducing their defense plus reducing their arts resistance. It's basically just like double buffing the damage you're going to be able to do. But if you don't have to use the battery at all, you don't have to waste any of your skill rank ups, you can actually just use the full power of this skill and absolutely obliterate them even harder, right? So don't be like worried about it. Like, she's going to be doing just fine, and like her skills have ways to like, be used in farming and everything. And her NP's not bad either. Although I will say I do prefer having the original Kiara's Pierce Defense and Pierce Invincibility, but this is still very, very good as well, as she's going to be getting some pretty big damage against people that are debuffed. And well, it is kind of the name of the game with this Kiara. So yeah, she's definitely really, really good. And in fact, I wonder if they actually wanted you to kind of pair that a little bit with Abigail coming out as well, because Abigail is also kind of about debuffs, but we'll see about that. So Kiara, just very, very good prime, arts servant, right? They just dropped Castorian and they dropped this absolutely insane banger of a servant. And that's why like maybe the others may seem a little disappointing, although I think they're all really good. I mean, Archer Ilia is clearly supposed to be a little bit of a buff to the quick meta because they don't want to leave Scotty too buried in the dirt. And Ilia's pretty much got everything you would want to see a quick looping servant have. Although you're probably going to want to get her to maybe like NP2, NP3 to actually allow her to perform at her best. But she has the 3 golden traits that every quick quick looping servant would want, and that is their own quick buff, their own NP gain ability, and their own battery, right? These are three things that every quick looping servant would absolutely love to have. And by the way, it's not just 20%. Her NP does have overcharge. Like, she gives herself a little bit here. So it is 30% functionally for 3 turns, because, you know, when you fire your NP, that's going to get added into this 20%. And yeah, there's really not a whole lot for me to say about her. She is just kind of like a good quick looping servant. Although, again, I will add the asterisk that you're probably going to want to go for some higher NP copies of her so she can actually farm optimally. I made a joke when she first came out that I was like messing around because I didn't have my own Scotty at the time, of like using a Castoria in place of Scotty. I was kind of joking about that, but then recently on stream we were testing to see if Lancelot could farm with Castorias instead of Scotties, and it worked. So I actually kind of want to test this out if I happen to pull Ilia while I'm going for the final servant on this banner, and that is going to be Brynhilder. Now, Brynhilder kind of gets tossed to the side, but I can kind of see why. We're not really in the Buster meta right now, and you're not really using Brynhilder to farm even in the Koyenskaya meta anyway, but she is very, very good. Like, if you need yourself just like a good Buster smack the enemy in the face type of servant, Brynhilder is going to be your lady. She's going to be very, very good when it comes to some very difficult content because of, like, A, the way that her defensive skill is built right here, because not only does she have the 2 evasions, but if the 2 evasions wear off, she still has damage cut to further help keep herself alive because she's a little squishy as a berserker, right? She also has a very good sustain skill that's giving her just fat globs of NP every single turn, as well as some stars to make those Buster cards really bite. And this is actually, I really love this. Like, I just personally really love the way that the skill is kind of built. So you'll notice she doesn't have the Brynhilder's Beloved special damage mod thing. And that's because, you know, normal Brynhilder, you know, is trying to kill Sigurd, right? Because of the weird curse thing. But now, as a Berserker, Brynhilder and Sigurd are working together. So instead of having a special damage mod against Brynhilder's Beloved, she has a buff for Brynhilder's Beloved because she's working with them. This is actually really good because if the Brynhilder Beloved that you're using, and I actually pulled up the traits over here, is a support, like let's say someone like Waver. Unfortunately, Merlin is not on here because I guess I'd just be a little too good. But if it's someone like Waver, Waver's going to love getting the arts part of this because that's going to make his arts cards even better, and you're just going to help him get to his NP, which is really good. It's not quite as good as getting to like Merlin's, but we all know that Waver's NP is still pretty dang good. And then if you're pairing her with any of these other servants that use their Buster card, which is like literally everybody else on here, they're gonna really like that because it's just gonna be some extra damage for them. So like, I really like this. It's extremely cute for like the lore of like how things are going. I absolutely love it. And then they gave her just a very, very powerful NP where she gets an additional 20% here, meaning basically every time she fires her NP, as long as the 3rd skill is up, functionally, she has a mana burst for that turn, which is really good. It lets her do some very strong damage, and she just outright pierces invincibility with her NP. So she's just very, very good at just being a boss-laying servant. If you pull this Brynhilder while you're going for Kiara over here, please do not sleep on her. She is actually very, very good. I'm not going to touch too much on the male banner over here, although you may want to go for it because Emiya is very good with Castoria, although you might want to pursue maybe NP 2 to 3 if you're going to be using him for that. That's just kind of like my own personal opinion, kind of staying safe on things. And I'm a little like torn on it though, because I'm like, it's not like the best banner to really like chase copies of, because while I really like all of their costumes and everything, like Sigurd's still not the best. And while Lan Ling I believe is very good, it's kind of like he's an art support coming out, or not coming out, but you know, going on raid up after Castoria has already, you know, just come out. So it's like the better version of all of the art support servants just came out. So it's not like Lan Ling is bad. It's just he's in a bad position, right? Like if anything, he should have been on raid up going out like before this event or something, right? Because now it's kind of like feels bad rolling Lan Ling because you're like, oh, I want to use him, but like I'm probably just not going to. Then we have this banner. I mean, yeah, I feel like people were maybe just a little disappointed with this because it's like Abigail brings the new status that I talked about earlier, and it's like, it's cool, right? But it's still a little annoying because like you can't attack the enemies without waking them up, which can be a little annoying sometimes. And it's not as, I guess, fun and like innovative as like Kiara being able to like rank up skills and stuff. It's just not the same, right? It just doesn't hit the same, right? It's cool, it's a new status, but it's just not the same, right? But as again, like being able to remove enemies' buffs is all very, very good. She's all about debuffing people as well. Like she carries over the Terra skill that the original Abigail has. And I mean, 50% battery is always good. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, maybe it just focuses a little too heavily on like debuffing the enemy. I'll say like a saving grace is probably the 50% battery, because that means if you do get Abigail over here, you can actually use her with Koyenskaya. It means she's very, very primed and set up to be good with Koyenskaya, because Koyenskaya primarily does really want to have those 50% battery servants, and her NP is absolutely nutty. She's got basically the more impressive part of like the Amakusa MP that like yeets all of your enemies' buffs. This takes away all of their defensive buffs. So it's like you can't run, you can't hide behind defense or invincibility, even solemn defense if we ever end up fighting Castoria. But yeah, I mean, she may seem like a little underwhelming, but she's still not bad. Like, she's not a bad servant. She is good. It's just maybe a little underwhelming compared to the other 5-star servant that came out for this event. Tomoe, this is personally why I'm going to be summoning on this banner, because I really love Tomoe. I mean, I think they did my girl right. You guys know that I have my Tomoe over on NA Grailed, like NP3, 10, 10, 10, working on gold foeing. Like, I absolutely love Tomoe, and I'm going to do it again for a gamer girl over here. Look at her. She is so adorable. And again, she's just like a good servant, but like, just like Okita, why they just like threw in a random nerf? Because like, all right, let's go look at everything else, right? Everything else here is like really cool. It's like we're getting like good star weight, we're getting arts performance, we're getting stars, we're refunding stars, we're debuff immune, we're smacking the enemy, we're buffing our arts and buster, all this good stuff. But then they were just like, 1 turn. I get it's on a 4-turn cooldown, but I'd almost rather this be like that at least gets to be 3 turn, because you guys did the melt thing where melt can loop her thing, and this one, if this was 3 turn, it wouldn't even be her looping it, right? It's just like, it would make her a little bit better, and then just take this off, man. It's like, look, I'm still going to try to use her whenever I can, but you guys can see that they kind of Okita'd this one, right? I think that that's going to be a term that I'm going to coin. They Okita'd this servant, where they just, for some reason, built in small flaws. But then again, at the same time, Okita, they gassed up all of her skills. Like, on Okita, this was like a 50% quick buff or something, right? Like, this was insane for 3 turns. So, like, for Okita, it kind of made sense. But then again, on Okita, they put the stun on the NP. Very least, you can get around this, right, with, like, some certain mystic codes. Not mystic codes. Well, I guess you can do it with the mystic code, but I'm talking about the command codes, right? Like, the one that was meant for Tamamacat that, like, came out for the Benny Enma event, right? You can use stuff like that. And, like, if you're going to farm with her, you don't need to use the first skill necessarily. Or, like, it doesn't do anything for farming. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, giga coping right now, because I know that I'm going to be going hard for this servant. But, yeah, she's there. And then Murasaki Shikabue, okay. I think I need to give this servant a little bit more credit, because she's really good at killing bosses, right? Because she focuses giga hard into debuffing people, right? Like, you'll see that literally everything she does is just neutering the enemy into the ground, right? And so I think she's actually really, really good if you scoop this one up, because she's really good at killing bosses. Like, as you can see, she's lowering defense, sealing NP, she seals skills right here. You know, she's able to reduce their arts resistance, and then she's able to, like, do the same thing that basically Brynhilder is doing with, like, refunding her NP, although she just drops immediate stars instead of refunding stars. And then her NP over here is able to, like, give you some NP control. Don't know why it's not guaranteed. Seems like a little bit of a shaft, but then you can also kind of go back into reducing their arts cards and everything. So Murasaki, maybe I was a little bit hard on you when you first came out, but she is definitely really, really good if you want to use her for killing bosses. Now, but I'm a little tight, a little upset that this was the only shaft that she got, because this is still good. It's still over a 50% chance. But then Tomoe had to get just the absolute shaft with, like, some of her stuff only being 1 turn oddly, and you know, having a stun built in there. I'm like, bro, I get it. Like, she's a gamer. She gets tired, stunned for 1 turn, but I don't know, give her sleep or something, man. At least make it funny. But yeah, with that being said, let me know what you guys are thinking about this event. I know that, what is her name? Where is she? The free-to-play. Yu Mayoi. Where is she at? I know that she's also in here, because... Yeah, so, okay, so I wanted to find her. I'm not done with the video. I didn't forget about her. But I just wanted to ask you guys, again, in the comments, just let me know which banner you're going to be most excited for, which one you're going to be going for. But we do get a free-to-play servant with this event, and that is going to be Yugioh. And Yugioh is actually really insane. If Ilia is kind of like the AoE buff, you over here is the single target buff, right? She's absolutely insane. First and foremost, if you don't have Tomoe Lancer, this is now your de facto anti-male killer over here. Also... some nice synergy for an incoming artist quick support sermon that might be coming out. Just saying, because she spreads curse and is quick. But then, like, everything she does is just chock full of effects. I mean, like a 5-turn guts with a 5k revive, 20% NP, and then if you're on either of these individual battlefields or both of these battlefields, it's 20% extra a pop. A 20% battery, can draw attention to herself. Just a good quick buff for herself. Well, I don't want to say like too good because it's only 20%, but still very nice. But then like waiver crit damage buff to the entire party. She's just like a very, very good quick buff, right? Because, you know, she's just really, really good for like the quick meta as like a free single target servant. Although I'm hearing a lot of people, especially like in streams, being like, bro, what is up with all the Lancers this year? And I'm like, bro, I think that's just the way that the cards fell with like some of the event reruns, and then I mean, I guess they didn't have to make you a Lancer. Maybe they could have made her a Saber or something. I don't know. But yeah, with all that being said, let me know what you guys think about the servants that are coming out. Again, let me know which banner you're hyped for. Do not forget to farm Yu. She is very, very good. And with all that being said, hey, yo, get this stuff off the side. I don't care about Pixar Wiki. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Make sure you like and subscribe for daily FGO content. Y'all thought I would forgot, because we just passed 20K, which is absolutely insane, boys. We are 1/5 of the way there to 100K, and I couldn't do it without every single one of you guys liking and subscribing and watching all of these videos. And so, you know, not to get a little too cheeky and sentimental, but, you know, love you guys. You know, you guys make all this possible, but we're getting a little too emotional. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.